Hello there. The first thing that I would do to fix my prints is to check the screws. After some times, your printer screws will get loose. It makes sense since the machine moves quite a lot over a long period of time. I have a Bamboo Lab A1 and A1 Mini, so behind the nozzle there are 3 screws. These screws can get loose and make the nozzle wobbly, so just take this wrench or whatever you call it in English and then tighten them up, and that can be the fix. However, if you do not lock your nozzle the right way, then it will be all for nothing. So please double check if your nozzle and your screws are locked nice and tight. The second thing that I would do if my FDM miniatures are looking rubbish, I would clean my bed. I got super tack build plates and a glacier plate, so my miniatures would never fall off the bed. However, if the plate have some grease or remains of other prints, then the first layer will get bad, which can create a chain reaction. If the mini just move the slightest in the wrong direction because of bad first layer, then it clearly shows in the result. So please wash and clean the bed before we try any other solutions. The third thing that I would do is to do some flow calculations. The printers today are very good at dynamic calculations. It seems like that the flow calculation have some troubles, which can be easily fixed. So do yourself a favor. 1. Find the filament that you want to use. Go into your slicer and find calculations. And the last thing is to just do both calculations manually. I can't say that in English. That should fix the problem most of the time. However, if these 3 things do not help, then the 4th thing that I would do is to dry my filament. PLA can absorb water from the air, which create steam bubbles and make the print look rough and unpredictable. There are so many YouTube videos out there that talks about how to dry your filament and do it in various ways. Is it worth to buy a filament dryer? Yes, if you print miniatures every week. However, if you have a vacuum seal bag or whatever for your filament, then you can just pop it up, use it and pop it down, and everything should be fine. But my sweet friend, after some time you must dry your filament, but you can do it without a filament dryer. But if you simply do not want to dry your filament or put it in sealed bags or anything like that, just buy new filament if you got the cash. Which lead us to my final thing. Buy a new nozzle or spare parts. Sometimes the nozzle have done its part and it has just gotten some defects along the journey. And the same thing can also be said with all the other parts in your printer. What I know as a noob, I need to maintain my printer, so I need to clean it and lubricate it whenever the printer says so. If these 5 things did not fix the problem, then I would do 2 things. I would do more research about my specific problem using AI and Google. And 2, I would go to my local 3D printer technician or store and ask for help. They would probably take a fee. I think that small fee is well worth it because you save so much time and you can actually damage your printer trying to fix it if you do something stupid. And I speak from experience. But I have a clear recommendation. Before you do all these 5 things or ask a technician, I would just look at my slicer setting and see if they are optimized for that specific miniature. So find a print profile that is really good and free. If a creator wants money or hide it behind a Patreon wall, then it is not worth it, to be honest. Don't buy it. Print profiles should be free and open source like anything else. So please don't support it. And speaking of support, I am a small YouTuber and YouTube do not push small YouTube videos out there unless they have many subs or many views. So subscribe to the channel if you don't want me to disappear or